This guide will give you an optimal start for your Grow Castle journey and help you build the foundations that will enable you to progress smoothly, eventually towards millions of waves. After watching, you will have everything set up for your first 2000 waves or so, and you will have the keys on how to progress smoothly from there on. Welcome! Let's get started. In the very beginning, you have little choice but to follow the game instructions and keep manually doing waves. For your first build, we will be setting up a gold Autobattle build, which will eventually look like this, but obviously you can't fully set this up just yet because you have not unlocked all castle slots for your heroes for this build yet. And once your castle reaches level 108, you will have all 12 hero slots for you to use. For your first additional heroes in the very early game, it might be best to get some ranged units, which would be Bowmaster, Sniper and Slingers. We will discuss more about leveling units and their promotions a little later on, so please hold that thought for a while. You will also unlock your Town Archers by leveling them up, but now pay attention to this. For this build, we will only use gold to level up Town Archers until you have unlocked all 20 of them. After that, do not spend any gold on your Town Archers, just leave them be. We will be getting rid of them rather quickly. I know this might sound a little bit weird to you, but trust me, it's actually more cost efficient and will allow you to progress more smoothly if you just keep ignoring them and focus that gold and those resources on your heroes and your leader instead. For the first upgrades for our gold build, get the Military Band Male Hero and the Trophy Tower. Now these both max out on level 21, so as you can afford it, level them up to the max level. There's no need to promote the Military Band Male with your crystals because the promotion does not affect the bonus gold he provides. And for the second tower, get the Worm, the first thing on your towers list you can see. This will be playing a crucial role in your mana recovery a little later on, so he will be a very important part of your build. Now eventually you will want to promote him all the way down to the max promotion, but don't worry about that too much just yet. If you can't afford the crystals, just do it when you have enough to do so. And once you unlock the workers in your town section, level them up enough so that you have unlocked all 10 of them, and then one by one tap them all and set them all to mine dark crystals for you. After that, there's no need to upgrade them any further because the amount of dark crystals they mine will be the same for level 10 workers as it will be for level 1000 workers. And we will be needing a lot of dark crystals later on, so it makes sense to start gathering them right away. And the amount of gold the workers would give you is rather small, and we will be getting more gold with much less effort from other sources, so we can dedicate the town workers for dark crystals instead. And as you keep on battling the waves, you will keep on leveling up, so use your skill points. You gain the first max out the bonus gold skill level and then the bonus experience skill level. And after that, start spending your points on anything that will boost your damage. You will be able to max out all the skills in this game on your second or third day of playing this game if you are following this guide, so don't worry too much about the order, just pick the bonus gold and the bonus experience skills first and you are good to go. And for your third tower, get the tree, level it up and promote it to the golden tree promotion for yet another thing to boost your gold income. Also get the bronze piece treasure from your treasure section and start using that for your build as well. And you can also get the alchemist hero, level him up to level 21, which is also his maximum level, and promote him to the golden frogs promotion for yet another gold boosting thing for this build. He is a little bit heavy on the mana usage, so you might have some issues with that one, but otherwise he is a nice unit to boost your gold income a little bit more. Now the tree will also give you a little bit of bonus experience as well, but other than that there's absolutely no need to further boost your experience income in this game, because experience points are essentially useless in the game. You will reach your max level very soon, and after that you won't really be needing any kind of a bonus experience points. Now once you unlock the option to use Autobattle, which happens on wave 52 or so, start using it. You enable it by tapping the two cross swords icon in the bottom right side of your window as soon as you start a wave. And now you have the option to use gold to pay for this Autobattle function, which is very much worth it and what we want to do in the early game. Of course, at this point you can still keep on manually doing the waves, but eventually your goal is to have the game running on Autobattle 24/7 if possible. Oh, and that reminds me, completely ignore the replay button. That is a complete waste of time. Your main priority in this game is always to advance and keep on going further and further in waves, and if you keep on replaying the wave, you will essentially be wasting time and slowing your progression for no apparent reason. Now I know you feel like, oh, I have to replay the waves, I need so much more gold, I need to level up my units, but you really don't. You will get more than enough gold for you to be able to progress without wasting time on replaying the waves. And even if you are manually playing the game, you should just keep on doing more and more waves instead of replaying the same wave over and over again. You will now be using this build for gold auto battle for as long as you can make profit from it, which is usually like 1500 plus waves, but this depends a little bit on how much gold stuff you have in the build and what level they are. And you can make sure the build is profitable by comparing the cost of activating this gold auto battle and the amount of gold you earn from the wave, which you can find in the battle analysis in the gold tab after you have done a wave. As long as the second number is bigger, you are good to go. If it's smaller, then you need to upgrade your gold boosting stuff or add some additional ones to the build. And that reminds me, next up, get the gold path treasure and add it to your gold build. And a little bit later, when you can afford it, you can also get the golden heart and add that as a final treasure piece for this gold build. And once you reach wave 200, head into the colony map and into the third colony world. In here, clear this battle to unlock the hero Oak Band and add him into your build. He also boosts your gold income by increasing the amount of monsters you get to battle per wave. And now let's talk a little bit about ads next. Now ads can be a nice source of extra gold income for you, so if you have the time and the will, you can watch a couple of them, especially if you need some bigger amount of gold for some bigger purchase, such as a new building, for example. But however, I would not recommend trying and doing 100 ads per day, which is the maximum you can do every day, because that's just essentially wasting your time. The amount of gold that feels like a lot to you now will feel like a small pocket money after like a day or two. There is, however, another use for these ads. In the shop, you can daily get 10 sets of 20 minutes of 3x game speed if you watch an ad for each of these sets, and your goal should be to exhaust all 10 of these every day if you can. Because faster game speed equals faster progression, and that is exactly what we want for this game. And once you reach wave level 250, you will unlock your first skill points, which you can use in the skill tree located behind the 3 stars box. Now in here, pick physical as your first starting point and keep going up with it whenever you earn more points. I have made some handy image versions of the skill tree, which I will link in the description of this video, so you can save them for yourself for later use. And now that the gold build is more or less in check, you will just keep on using the gold auto battle and keep on spending your gold and your crystals every now and then. And speaking of crystals, your first priority is to promote your heroes to the right promotions whenever they reach the correct level required to do so. And also for this, I have made this handy image which shows you all the right promotions for the physical summon build, and I will also link this in the description box again so you can save it for yourself for later use. Your another priority for crystals is to purchase and start upgrading your castle parts, which are the things that are located behind where your heroes are standing on the castle. And here the first two things you will want to get are the golden castle for the top, that will boost your gold income a little bit more, and also the stone castle for the base, which will increase the physical type units damage in your build. And hint hint, all of our core units are doing physical damage here, so that makes complete sense. Both of these max out on level 99, which is a rather easy thing to do, so do it and then purchase the sealed castle next and also level that to level 99 as well. For the last slot, get an offensive castle part of your liking and start dumping all your excessive crystals into that one until it reaches level 10,000, which will take a while, but you will eventually get there, trust me. My recommendation would be to pick up either the ballista or the minigun for your first part. For the buildings located behind your castle, you will want the bar, the hero guild and the spring water. Now, if you are having some mana issues, you may want to use the mana hens instead of spring water for now, but eventually, as soon as you can, you will want the spring water, which is one of the best things you can get in this entire game. Now, you have also probably noticed this neat dragon statue by now, behind which you can find multiple dragons and dungeons to tackle, and I'm sure you are more than eager to go and claim your title as the #1 dragon hunter of your house. Which is why I hate to tell you this. Do not waste your time doing any of these for now. They are completely waste of time for now, and you should keep on doing waves and colonies instead. Any dragon weaker than the Sin Dragon is not worth a few time doing, and they will only drop bad tier items that you will be replacing in a blink of an eye anyway. At this point of the game, you will not need any items to progress. You will just need to keep on leveling up your units as you wave a little bit. And trust me, you will get your fair share of dragon blood once you can start beating Sin and the dragons above that eventually, but before that you should keep on waving instead. I did mention colonies though, and those are worth your time to do, especially the first world, which will in fact be your main source of gold income for a long time. You can build 5 different decks for your castles, so for now select the slot number 2 and create this kind of deck for you to use against the colonies. Use the same physical skill tree as you use for your waving for now. We will fix that and turn this into a proper colony build once you reach wave level 2000 and you will have enough skill points to use another type of colony build, but for now keep on using this one and keep on tackling the first colony world whenever you can beat a new level. You can probably clear colonies that are like 3 or 4 times your total wave level for now, so just do as many as you can, and once you can't beat the next level, go back to waving instead. For now you will keep on waving until Gold Autobattle is no longer profitable. And you can max out the Bronze Beast and Gold Bar Treasures, but the Golden Heart is a little bit expensive for now for you to level up most likely, so you can let that stay at the base level instead. So recap, you should have these Gold Boost units at max level by now. And one more important thing you should do when you can afford it is to head over to your town section again and purchase the Monster Lab building. In here you can set one type of weakness for each monster in this game, and since all of our core units are doing physical type damage, big physical type damage for all of these units as soon as you can unlock that option for them. If you can't see the physical type option yet, keep on waving because you will unlock these options after you have killed enough monsters of that type. For my latest account, my gold build started to struggle to make profit at around 1300 waves, at which point I purchased the Devil Horn Treasure and started using the lowest level of that. You will be able to advance 2 waves every time you complete a single wave, but you will also have to face 2 bosses at the end of each wave. Now this will make your waves of course a lot harder, but if you can handle that, it's worth doing and will also help you to gain a little bit more gold per wave as well. Ultimately in this game you will try to aim to use the highest version of that Devil Horn, which will allow you to do 5 waves every time you complete a single wave, but for now you should not try to do that and just keep on doing the first level instead. The higher levels are all much more difficult than the previous ones, and they will require more skill points and more items for you to be able to consistently beat those. And once inevitably the Gold Autobattle stops being profitable for you, it's time to head into the deck number 3 and set up a free Autobattle build. For reference, for my latest account this happened around 1800 waves. Now this build utilizes the Worthless Coin Treasure, which will allow you to get free Autobattle with the drawback of not being able to earn gold from monsters during the wave. Now remember when I said that colonies will be your main source of gold income? This is exactly the time I was referring to. You will rely on your colonies to bring you gold when using free Autobattle with the Worthless Coin Treasure, and you will be using this for your next 500,000 waves or so. So buckle up, you are in for a long ride. I have created a step-by-step video guide of this exact build, which I will also link down in the description box below, and that is the build you will want to use to proceed from this point onwards towards 500,000 or more waves. And the next big milestone is to reach 2000 total waves done, at which point you will want to head over to your colony deck, which is the deck slot number 2 if you have been following this video's instructions, and go to your skill tree and completely reset your skill tree. For now we will have enough points for us to utilize the summon only once node in the summon skill tree, so we will be going down in the summon path instead. Now I have also created a step-by-step separate video guide of this exact build that will help you clear the first colony world in very early game with very low level units, so I will also link that in the description for you to watch after this one. And now a few words about leveling your units and spending your precious gold. First of all, only level these 2 units high enough that you can promote them and then completely stop leveling them. Their role is not to do any kind of damage in this game, and any gold spent them after this point is completely wasted. Your highest level units will be Giants, Dark Bowmaster, Sniper and Edward in this order from highest to lowest. Now in early game you might want to make your Sniper and Bowmaster and even maybe Edward higher level than Giants, but eventually this will be the order, and always keep your Giants in the top 4 of your highest level heroes as well. And your castle should also be somewhere around your highest level unit, so it's also one of your top priorities to level up. Now Slingers and Angels, they can be left on a relatively lower level than the others, maybe like 1/4 of your highest level units or even less in some cases, as long as they don't get insta-killed during the wave. So their role is just to do some body blocking and some crowd controlling for your build. And same goes for Dorothy as well. Now Worm is also something you can probably keep at around the same levels as your Slingers and Angels and Dorothy. Worm is your main source of MP regeneration combined with the Mirror Tower, so if you are struggling with your mana, keep on leveling up your castle and keep on leveling up your Worm and you will be eventually good to go. Now there's a thing called ratio when people usually refer to leveling up your heroes and castle and what level units you should have on a certain wave level, etc, etc. And you can find more detailed information about that through my Discord, which is free to join. I will link the invite link down in the description box below. And finally, aim to keep your game on all the time if you can, because nothing in this game works if the game is closed. You will not gain anything from your workers, you will not gain anything from your colonies, you will not be able to complete any waves on Autobattle. Nothing works if the game is closed, so try to aim to keep the game on for as long as possible. You can use an emulator to play this game on PC, I have a separate video of that as well. And you can also, if you have an older phone you are not using anymore, that makes an excellent slave device for this game.